sleep has been haunted with whispers and rattlings. Your blood has been curdled. We know what to do. Your skin has the creepies. You wonder what's happening. You're safe in our hands. We will take care of you. We're the Ghostbusters. Spirits and demons beware. The Ghostbusters. Wherever you're hiding out there. We know what you're up to. We're ready for anything. We're bold and we're fearless and never afraid. We're always prepared. We're right there with everything. With us on the job, trouble soon fade. The Ghostbusters do it again.
Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your agent of awesome, and the host of Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today, I will also be a genteel Ghostbuster from 1975, that is, when your humble agent was but a wee young agent getting up on Saturday mornings and having a lot of sugar-fried cereal and watching just anything to see what he liked. So we are talking about the 1975 Ghostbusters. But before we do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. Did you like it? But whatever you think, let me know in the comments. And now we're going to see something really different. We start out at the very first episode, which was aired on September 6th, 1975. And I was there watching it because it had monsters and ghosts, mostly ghosts, but it's all right. And I guess I liked it. This is a Filmation production, and Filmation was not known for putting a lot of money into their shows, but they had great theme songs, as you know. It ran from September 6th to December 13th, 1975, and then probably 3 more times in syndication or in the course of this season. There's 15 episodes, a little unusual for a Saturday morning for one season show, but usually it was 13, sometimes 16, sometimes even 18. You just never knew. It did spawn a sequel, a direct sequel in 1986, thanks to the 1984 Ghostbusters. A little bit of controversy there, but nothing that was too terribly over the top. So we have here in this our 2 villains. That is Johnny Brown as Fat Man and Billy Barty as the Rabbit. You can figure that out. They are after the Thing, and so they're going to summon the gangster Big Al Caesar, who will give them the thing, help them steal the stuff that dreams are made of, the Maltese monkey. There's our animated opening, and the song goes in. Notice how Spencer is misspelled on their office door. This is a running gag. I didn't even notice it. The show was put on DVD by BCI and Ink and Paint. It's long out of print, so these came from they're off on a Blu-ray source, so they're slightly tried to be upgraded, but this is the best we're going to get at the moment. And we have Tracy is the ape, Spencer is the gentleman in the fedora and the dark fedora with the purple band, and Kong is in the yellow shirt. Spencer is played by Larry Storch, and Kong is played by Forrest Tucker. They were members of the F Troop, which was aired, I don't know, a gazillion years ago, which kids of 1965 to 65 episodes. I'd never seen an episode. I didn't know who these guys were. I had seen them because they were ubiquitous at, in shows and things. And then Bob Burns has trained the ape Tracy. Now, of course, Spencer Tracy was the actor, and Kong is, all of them are, there's a lot of homages here. Whoever was writing, creator was Mark Richards. He wrote most of the episodes and directed a lot of it. So it's very interesting. There's a bowling ball. And now the episodes are pretty simple. Kong gets disgusted with the 2 of them, or fed up with the 2 of them. He leaves and sends them out to go get their next assignment from Zero. Dun, dun, dun. Voiced by Lou Scheimer. And so and Kong does all the, or Tracy does all the driving, and they have to fix the brakes. I thought that'd be a running joke. I don't think the jalopy has any particular name. Molecular store is where they always stop to get it, and it's always in some kind of strange object, like fish. And in five, this fish will self-destruct in 5 seconds, and Kong or Tracy is always the one holding it, and it blows up on him. Off they go in the Ghostbuster mobile. Running gag throughout all of the episodes is Tracy cannot, or Spencer cannot get the filing cabinet to work properly. Wherever he pulls, the other one opens. We're not going to spend too much time on that. And both Spence and Tracy are not sissies, but they're chickens, and they always end up in this graveyard because that's where ghosts show up. And Fat Man and Rabbit manage to summon Big Al, who is a spitting image of Tracy, and played by, surprisingly, the the spitting image of Spencer. I'm going to get this right. Eddie Spencer is his name. We find out that in the next episode. There they are watching it. This is the house, the nearby haunted castle or deserted castle that all of the villains go to. And he's telling them, we want to steal the Maltese monkey. Tracy's a chicken. Spencer has dynamite. Tracy's really strong and probably the smartest of the group. Fortunately, and here's some nice split scene photography here. Fortunately, the guys, while kind of inept, are actually very good at what they're not really inept. They just don't know. They're very naive, I guess. So they see that. He's like, what kind of sap would dress that way? And Tracy holds up a mirror. And so he's going to pretend to be Big Al, and they're summoning him. Uh-oh. And he captures him and takes his place. So Big Al is now pretending to be Spencer. And he grabs the Maltese monkey and he just disappears. And these two are slow. They're slow to figure it out, but they realize that they've been had by a ghost. But then we have this going on. I'm the real one. I'm the real one. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? All of this is very vaudevillian comedy. They're dressed like gangsters. A lot of them. I mean, Spencer definitely is dressed like a gangster. And I just wonder what they thought that kids in 1975 who hadn't seen F Troop would find these shenanigans amusing. And at this point in time, it's more of an homage to that. There's a lot of hijinks through the, and this castle is the same. So they're not meant to be watched at one at a time. He's going to make you an offer you can't refuse. So some topical humor. Zap. That's the dematerializer. It's not a proton pack or unlicensed nuclear accelerator on their back. But and the effects are very rudimentary, but they work. They just zap them out, and they bowl. Tracy rolls the bowling ball and wipes out the two villains. They're like, strike. And then they type up their notes. We start with episode 2. Dr. What's his name? One of the things about Zero's messages is they get garbled, so they don't always know who the villain is or who they have to stop, which ghost. And how Zero knows is beyond me. That's never explained. Spencer has a hangnail. Spencer had a watch. Tracy's got a giant Q-tip, and they go out they go out to get there. So he tries to hear it, but all we get is the old castle on Batwing Lane, and then it blows up in his face. And now he's an artist. And they're like, well, we got to go to there. The old castle is on Batwing Lane. Doesn't it look familiar? I do like the way this is drawn out. This may very well have come from the Groovy Ghoulies that they just adapted it from. And there it is. There is Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. Dr. Frankenstein is played by Bernie Kopel, known as Siegfried on Get Smart, and some guy on the Love Boat, the doctor on Dr. Adam Bricker on Love Boat. I prefer him in Get Smart, but he's very funny. The monster is William Engresser, and he's known for his height. He does all right. I mean, at this point in time, the monster is just an engine of comedy. Moonlight, that might be Moonlight. These again, they're in the exact same cemetery. Tracy's a baby. I think the look on the monster's face is a little too excited. All right. And they're looking for the brain of the world's most gullible fool. So they're pretty much taking Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein here, where they're going to replace the monster's brain with an idiot's brain. Lloyd Moonlight. He lived 30 years. So, more shenanigans with the filing cabinet. And this is a magical drawing pad that old Tracy has. He can pull a soda out of it. He pulls a pie out of it, and cold turkey. So off they go. I just like this shot. And, he's just talking. The monster doesn't understand anything. The creature, they're there. And they always carry that huge bag around with all their stuff that they need, including a bomb. Bomb! So he looks for a doctor to take care of his hangnail. And what? So Bob Burns' facials, his eyes convey. He rolls his eye. He does really well here. It's the Frankenstein monster, and doesn't call him Frankenstein, which is a nice touch. So they knew what they were doing here. The chase begins. They run back and forth. Unfortunately, Spencer mentions Kong in the Empire State Building, and his grandfather had an unfortunate accident there. I thought that was a nice touch. He's listening to the music, another pie, and they get zapped, and they're gone. So it's essentially the same formula over and over. It's just different ghosts and monsters. They have a good laugh, and Tracy pies them. See? And now it's time for station identification. You are watching Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Xenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program. Our third episode is The Canterville Ghost, which is named after the humorous short story by Oscar Wilde. Talk about Oscar Wilde. Well, okay. Shut up, Neil. Shut up. I'm really going to bash your brains in, Rick. Should have thought of that. Oh, well. I'll probably get a Young Ones reference in here at some point or another. But The Canterville Ghost. And that is Dodo. Nope. That is Kathy Garver as Carolina de Canterville. And that is Mr. C, played by Len Lesser, who was on some show called Seinfeld, and another one where everybody yells at Raymond, and Raymond yells at everybody else. Garvin. But not Ronnie Garvin, Hands of Stone Ronnie Garvin. And Simon de Canterville is played by Ted Knight, and he is channeling Bert Lahr as the Cowardly Lion here because he's a cowardly ghost. But he can't leave his premises until he performs a heroic deed. So there's that. They're after the Canterbury. What are they after? The Canterville Diamond. Canterville, and it's what he's wearing around his chest there. Sir Simon is. So what's her name is now? Carola is headed for the Ghostbusters. He got stamped. He can get back into the party. More jibber jabber. Off they go. Zero tells him that she needs to get rid of the ghost, but not the one she thinks. Dun dun dun. Flowers blow up on Tracy. Yeah, there he's painting, and now he's a good painter. And there she is. She was scared at him at first, but he gives her a flower, so she knows that Tracy's harmless and smarter than the rest of them. But that's her ancestor. Simon does not. But no one figures out there's a real ghost in there except for Carola, but they don't believe her. There's a short in it. That's why the dematerializer wasn't working. It's like, no, don't. And he disappears. So all this is to get the diamond. He drew the short straw. There's a nice touch here about Mr. C and the knight suit of armor. He's like, there he is. But then they make friends. Unfortunately, Simon thinks that Tracy was going to harm Carola, and he commits a good deed, and then he captures Mr. C, and now he gets to go to his just reward. I think they zap him, maybe not. Maybe he just gets sucked off. Ooh, ghost reference. I know, but he's not a Packy, so we don't get Isaac on Mr. Higgintoot, and off they go. And Ted gets his special guest star. He was in the middle of his run on Mary Tyler Moore. He'd been in it 5 years, and been won awards. And he's on a kids' TV show on Saturday. He must have been a great guy, and he got to start with Filmation, doing the bombastic voiceovers for their cartoons, and then did it for Super Friends. So I think he just said, "Yeah, I'll do that." They offered, and he probably had a ball doing it. He got to be a scaredy. I'm sure they shot this in like 4 days because they couldn't have, they only had 3 sets. Anyway, it's a full moon, and there's Maria Oskenspaia. No, that's neither Maria Oskenspaia or Lon Chaney Jr. That is, let me see. Let me get back up here. Oh, well, we're going to have to go down here. And that is Dodo Denny and Lenny Weinrib. And we'll talk about Lenny here in a bit. Dodo, I'm not exactly sure what she's done mostly. Oh, she was Mrs. TV in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I've met Tommy TV in the past. He, of course, is Harry Albert, and she's the gypsy fortune teller Sophia. Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? Number 4. That would have been September 27, 1975. I don't remember if I saw this. I don't know that I'd seen The Wolfman yet, because that one was something. No, well, maybe. I'll never remember now. Spencer and Tracy about a treasure map from a guy, and they found a bone and an old medallion. Spence has got something in his eye, and now it's out of his eye. There's the watch from last episode, and off they go to get their new assignment, which is they don't get told exactly who it is, so she's looking for who has the medallion, and it is the Baldus Lupus medallion amulet that Spencer recently unearthed. So off they go. Here we go. It spins around, blows up. You know the drill. More shenaniganery. Tracy's the only one that can get it to open. And these two are watching it. Oh, they wish they had a crystal ball. There she is. And so this is it goes back and forth. So Lenny here was the voice. He did a lot of voiceover stuff. He was in Shy Private Eye and the original voice of the much lamented and long hated Scrappy Doo. So he was also Puffin Stuff. I'm assuming that's his voice in there too. But he's the werewolf. He's Harry Albert here. Harry Albert. So he's trying to get in now, and he can't. He's crying. So Tracy just gives him what he wants. He takes the bone. She leaves, but he leaves the amulet. He's like, why would anyone want to leave this junk? Off they go. Oh, it's another vacated castle on Batwing Lane. And he wants to eat the bone. You got concrete on your shoes? But the Wolfman, or the Big Bad Wolf, shows up. He's kind of reminiscent of Vladimir Daninsky, Vladimir Daninsky. Jeez, I need to get another one of those movies. Fire hydrant. He turns back, and they do the old clapping thing where he drops something on his foot, just right out of the Stooges, and she gets zapped. He gets zapped. Why couldn't they just give him the amulet and let him be a human in the afterlife? Bye bye. And he howls at his girlfriend's picture. These two want to punch him. So it's, looking at it now, some 51 years later, I've watched it through once. It's funny, but it's like, I just can't figure out who they thought the audience was going to be. Kids, even by 75, I knew these were old jokes from vaudeville, from the 30s and 40s. I mean, the actors are all really good. They take it as seriously as they have to. I'm sure they had fun. But, well, we've got 3 more weeks of this, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. All right, my fellow agents, tomorrow we will be reviewing the 1977 Hobbit television movie, made for TV movie. If you didn't see that coming, you weren't paying attention too much. But until that next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And remember, you know who you're going to call. No matter what their name is and who they are, they're the Ghostbusters. Be seeing you.
In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Many